Hello, everyone, and welcome back to a brand new episode of the World of Work podcast. So, this is the first episode of 2024. For those loyal listeners, you may be wondering, oh my gosh, like, who's this? The voice is so different. Is this the same host? Well, if you picked it up, I am a different host. So, I'm the new project manager of the World of Work podcast. My name is Resigo, and I'm super excited to be the host this year. So, just a little bit about myself before we start, because I don't want you guys to be listening to a stranger speak for like 45 minutes. I'm a management studies student, so my majors are finance and org psych. I love animals and everything to do with people. I'm a social butterfly, and I'm just super excited to have this opportunity this year. We're going to have some really cool conversations. There's some really cool stuff that I have planned out, and I just hope that you guys can follow along the journey with me and, like, keep in touch, keep posted. And if you see me on campus, guys, like, please say hi, like, let me know if you have any ideas for the podcast. And so, we can go through this journey together. So for the first episode of the year, I thought we should kick it off, get the family involved. So I'm joined by some of the executive team members from InvestSoc. I have our president today, our vice, and our marketing director. And essentially, we just want to tell you about what's new and happening in InvestSoc this year. We want you guys to kind of like be oriented about what to look out for and some of the brand new programs that we have that we are enacting out in 2024. So I want to introduce the executives. I want to introduce my lovely guest. I have our president, Erin, our vice, Ross, and marketing director, Pranesh. So yeah, like I was saying before, the focus of today's episode is to speak about our loyalty scheme and the brand new investment literacy scheme. And then Pranesh is going to give us the 411 on what's new in the marketing department for the year. So let's get into it. Ross, what prompted the introduction of the loyalty program this year for the society?
All right. So, thank you, Roseko, for having me. I really appreciate it. It's fantastic to have you on the podcast this year and, taking over Klubi. We can already see from the start of this, it's going to be a fantastic journey. And we really want our listeners to tune in and listen to everything that Roseko has planned this year. To your question, in terms of the loyalty program, we each and every year an executive comes in to lead the society, and we try to think of legacy projects as to what we can add new to the society that will make a lasting impact going forward. And one of those things was, and the team was able to come up with, was the loyalty program. And so we obviously have a very large membership base, and we pretty much want to convert our members that we have in the membership base to members that want to actually attend events. And so the loyalty program does two things. The first thing is we're able to reward members for remaining loyal to the society. That these members have been with us for the last few years. They are their second year, third year, or fourth year. Some of them are in their honors years. And so that's the one thing that it achieves. And second to that, we can then also incentivize new members that come into the society and incentivize them to actually attend events and not just be dormant members. So that's the one thing the two things we actually try to achieve through the loyalty program. And the whole aim around that loyalty program is that we are able to reward students for attending our events. And through that loyalty program, we have different offers that students can benefit from.
Okay, that sounds really great. So you're talking about rewards and you're talking about incentive for the students. Can you kind of give us a little bit of a taste about what benefits prospective members can get from their membership of the program?
Yeah, most definitely. So, when it comes to the benefits that we offer, as I mentioned, we are trying to get students to attend our events. So we have an event close to every single week of the year, of the academic year. And through those events and encouraging students to attend that, you get 2 points for just being at that event. Second to that, if you are at that and you're sharing photos or videos by your social media accounts, preferably Instagram, and you're tagging InvestSoc on our Instagram page, we will then take notes of that, and you get an extra 2 points. And lastly, with the intent making bigger and better events, and improving the quality of each event every year. And week in, week out, what we try to do is we send out a feedback form to our members, and if they complete that membership or that feedback form, they get allocated another point. And so, throughout the year, what we do is, the members, through completing this, we'll have a live leaderboard and a tracker throughout the year where we can then publish via our social media and our Career Monday email that goes out to our entire membership base. And obviously at different points in the year, whether it's mid-year in the academic year or the end of the year at our gala event, we'll be giving out different prizes. And so, those prizes pretty much range from internships with companies, cash prizes, vouchers. One of the things that I mentioned or one of the cool prizes that I mentioned at our opening event of the year was an iPad. And so last year I was in the society, and it was at our InvestSoc Times magazine launch, and one of the participants won an iPad, and we saw like the benefit that had on the students. And so, we thought that would be a great idea to give away an iPad this year too. So that's what we have in mind for the prizes. There's so much more. I mean, we deal with a lot of corporates day in and day out, and each of them have something different to offer, whether it be job shadowing experiences. And so, whatever comes to the plate, we are always willing to extend that into our loyalty program too.
Okay, guys, you guys heard it here first. There's so much up for grabs. An iPad, guys, come on, like a free iPad, that's amazing. So, okay, it sounds really good, but now I'm sure the listeners want to know how it's actually gonna work, right? Like, what is the sign-up process? How do people actually get started? How does one get involved?
Yeah, most definitely. And so this is what we addressed at our first event this year. And once again, just displays the importance of coming to our events, because you get to hear about these exciting things that we do. In terms of the sign-up process, we send out emails in our Career Monday once you are a member of InvestSoc. In terms of being a member of InvestSoc in the first place, you obviously have to sign up via the PeopleSoft PeopleSoft account, where you can then go to Clubs and Society and join InvestSoc by typing INV in the search bar. And once you're a member of the society, you can now join the loyalty program. And so now the question is, how do you become a member of the loyalty program? Through the emails that you get from InvestSoc on a Monday or via our social media accounts, you will then get the opportunity to complete a form, which then gives you the opportunity to join the loyalty program. And how we do that, and on top of that, at our events, we have QR codes posted, on our presentations, on our speakers' presentations, and at the end of the event, this is where students can now, by automatically scanning that QR code at the event, you now join the loyalty program. And so, if you weren't a member of the loyalty program, you haven't gone through the processes that I've just mentioned, by scanning that QR code, if you're already a member, you're getting your rewards instantaneously. And if you are not a member and you've scanned that QR code and completed the form, you now entered into the loyalty program. So that's the benefits. There's a lot of different entry points into becoming a loyalty program member. And we really, really hope to see students come out and be a part of it, because we really know that the benefits are far and wide. And that's what we want to extend to our members over and above just the attendance at the events. So I hope that covers your question.
Yeah, thank you, Ross. That was great. Guys, it's as easy as just joining on PeopleSoft, like Ross said. If you didn't catch the code is INV. So that's the first step. And then all you have to do is just read a couple of emails and scan a QR code. I feel like that's such a low effort way to gain so much from the society this year. So yeah, thank you, Ross, for the 411 on the loyalty program. So let's dive into the investment literacy program. Erin, what motivated the decision to launch the literacy program this year?
Well, thanks for the question, Riseko, and thank you for having me here. I'm very excited to be answering these questions and to be part of the podcast. I kind of thought with the investment literacy program, we're called the Investment Society. And I think the name kind of leads everyone to believe that we will be teaching them about investing, where up until now, we haven't actually been doing that. Most of our events focus around our corporate partners, where we prepare students for fields in business and finance, asset management, investment banking. And while these events are incredibly important and helpful to those that are interested in those careers, they do not teach us how to manage our own money. And there are plenty of students that are not interested in those careers, but want to be able to grow their money, grow their wealth, be financially stable, or just be prepared for whatever industry they go into. So also, UCT courses don't really offer this kind of thing either. So it really is a great life skill for us all to learn. I mean, I don't know what I'm doing when I'm investing. So I thought that this was definitely something that can be useful to people in commerce, outside of commerce, just any member or student that's interested in managing their money. And we really wanted to kind of focus it on a course or a program where it starts off really basic. We look at budgeting, we look at emergency funds, maybe understanding student debt, and just how to structure a budget so that you can save for the future. And then lead on to more complicated things throughout the year so that you can kind of understand a little bit of the stock market and things like that. So that's kind of the motivation behind it all.
That sounds good. I mean, that sounds really amazing because at the end of the day, you're getting this practical, hands-on experience for free, guys. Valuable skills that could literally change your life, and it's all for free. So, I mean, if I was you, the listener, I would definitely sign up. Okay, cool. So it sounds great. It sounds amazing. Can you kind of tell us more about like how it'll actually be structured and in what ways can individuals actually like participate in the program?
Of course. So we're going to be hosting a series of events throughout the year, roughly 3 or 4 at the moment, and they're going to build on from one another. But don't worry, if you don't attend ones previously, you will be able to attend the later ones, and I'll explain why later. But we're going to start off with an introduction to money management, understanding student debt, just because I think that a lot of people are using student loans and working out how to pay it back, how the interest works. It's just a really fascinating topic. And then also talking about emergency funds, because you never know when something goes wrong. So that we can kind of, these skills are really necessary in establishing a discipline for everyone to start saving a portion of their money each month. Because if we start now, even with $5, it's going to become a habit, and it's a really good one to have, so that when you're actually earning a salary as a graduate, you can put away more money and be, financially stable as you go further on into the business world or into any industry. So then the following events are going to go into a little bit more detail. So we'll look at, tax-free savings and how the rules around tax-free savings works. Maybe fixed deposits, bonds, like which one to do, which one's the easiest, the fees surrounding all those kind of short-term to mid-term savings accounts, maybe a money market account, things like that. But then we're going to go into more exciting kind of things with the stock market and different asset classes so that people can kind of learn about how to do maybe riskier investments, which we're definitely able to do as young people, and also have greater returns, obviously. So I think that would be really cool to dive into later on in the year when we have a really good baseline. And our project manager, Ritik, also has a really fun idea of using these skills that we've learned and then kind of evaluating big investors' strategies. Like Warren Buffett, for example. Why is he so successful? Why has he made so much? So kind of like we can use our skills of analyzing his strategy and see if it would work for us. Which I think is quite a fun, engaging topic. And then all these tips will come from experts and more teachers than just a corporate name. We really want to have as much wisdom being imparted on us in a very understandable manner. And then we want it to be actionable. So while it may seem that you need to kind of be at every event to kind of understand the process, we will be making the content available afterwards. So it'll almost become like a course book or a guidebook. Where you can read back on it. You can, maybe if you were at the event but you want to check something, you can look at it. And then we're going to try and record things as well, so that, or at least post the slides so that everyone kind of has access to the information, because we really don't want to prevent anyone from accessing such great investment education. And then also with the, going back to it, we're kind of maybe going to add a little worksheet or an activity of how you can apply it to yourself, a step-by-step kind of guide. just that people have those actionable steps so that they don't have to just read a bunch of theory and be like, okay, what do I do now? So that's kind of where it's going to go throughout the year.
That sounds really great. And I think the best part about it is that, like you were saying, there is different things to learn. I think that there's so much benefit that you can get from it. Maybe you're not interested in the stock market. Well, then you can come and learn about other things, like how to budget and how to actually, build up an investment portfolio. I think that there's definitely something for everyone who is interested. Don't feel intimidated by, not knowing anything about investment or finance. That's what the program is actually for. So come as you are, whether you know a lot, whether you know nothing. I think that everyone can definitely benefit from the program. So speaking of benefits from the program, I'm sure the listeners want to find out, aside from the practical experience and, the one-on-one teaching from all these wise people in the industry, is there anything else the members of the literacy program can anticipate to get from joining?
Well, we're going to hope that students can kind of feel confident enough to start their own investment portfolio by the end of the year. So maybe have that knowledge, maybe look at, brokerage and that kind of thing to, buy shares on the stock market or start their own tax-free savings account or whatever the case may be. But to have certain goals associated with those portfolios that they've created, because everyone has different levels of risk or different goals for those savings accounts. So I think it is really important to kind of match the portfolios to what you want to be doing. For example, I mentioned that I don't really know what I'm doing with investing, but I've got a small tax-free savings account for holidays that I want to do and kind of things like that. But then I have an investment portfolio, not a lot in it, but it's kind of just sitting there. It's higher risk. I'm just leaving it and it's for when I'm older. So things like that are where you can kind of look at what the goal of the portfolio or the saving is for, as well as what your risk with each of them is. So I think that is something that I hope students can kind of gain from the program.
Definitely. You guys heard it here first, guys. There's so much value to be gotten from this program. I just hope that as you listen to this podcast, you can actually envision yourself being able to build an investment portfolio. I feel like there's so much we can do as young people, and honestly, this is the first step to take. So that's really great. I'm super excited. And I'll be joining the literacy program myself, guys. Like, join with me. Let's make a thing out of it. When I post an episode on YouTube, comment down below and tell me how you feel about the programs and like what we've been talking about so far. But so will there be any additional support like provided to participants as they progress through the literacy program?
So as mentioned, we've got the guide that will be published in our Career Monday newsletter. So even if you didn't attend the event or you're not coming to any of them at all, you still have access to that information. It will also be available each week. So it's not like you have to go scrolling for that email again. So that is something that we're going to continue throughout the year, as well as just really encouraging questions. I think that the people that we're going to approach to kind of teach us these things are really relaxed people. They are, they're not necessarily a huge name out there, but they've written a book or they've taught this kind of thing before, or they focus on outreach in high school education for around financial literacy. So all those people really encourage an environment that's a little bit more informal and will hopefully allow people to ask questions, because I know I will be asking them.
Definitely. Come on, guys. Like, I feel like what I'm getting from what Erin and Ross are saying is that the Career Monday emails are super crucial, guys. Like, let's read the emails. Everything is in the emails. And I think that that's just a super easy way to be kept in the loop. And I also feel like it's super great that we have all these knowledgeable people that are going to be like super chilled, because at the end of the day, we want to make all these sessions as most productive. And I feel like people are going to be comfortable and it's going to be a vibe. So guys, I do urge you to like come to the talks, meet all these knowledgeable people, like get involved and like make the most of the literacy program. And then I think finally, I want to know, are there any events already planned out? Like, what can we look forward to in the next couple of weeks?
Awesome. So yes, we do have a first event that is roughly planned for the second term, so from April onwards. And that's really going to be the introduction to the program. So it'll be talking about budgeting and how to manage that, as well as how you use it to optimize saving opportunities and understanding student debt and things like that. Kind of maybe also accounts or tax-free savings accounts and things like that are linked to people's bank accounts. So it's really easy for them to start saving something even straight away. It isn't necessarily a lot of barrier to entry. And then the topics will become clearer. They'll be communicated close to the time. So look out for the Korea Monday newsletter, as well as Pranesh's amazing marketing material. And also with coming to these events, this will obviously earn you loyalty points if you want to join the loyalty program and maybe grab some of those prizes.
Okay, thank you so much, Erin, for the 411 on the literacy program. Guys, I'm so excited, honestly. Like, I can't wait to join. I feel like it's going to be super amazing. So let's talk about InvestSoc and social media. Guys, I don't know if you know, but our social media is popping. Our social media is amazing. And honestly, it's all because of Pranesh and the marketing team. So I kind of want to bring Pranesh into the conversation. Can you tell us a bit more about, the marketing team and like what we should be looking out for as members of the society?
Of course, thank you so much. To all the listeners, thank you so much for listening and continuing the viewership. Just in regards to the marketing, it's not me alone. I have an amazing team in Kwezi and Aiden and Travis. And together, all of us, we group together and we try to put out the best posters, because I believe we are the best society in UCT and maybe South Africa. We are certainly the largest society in South Africa. Just in regards to the posters, in regards to the what members should look out for all the events. We have so much more this year than what we had last year. I mean, Michelle and Lolita from the previous years have done an amazing job. And it's tough to obviously follow on to that, but we have the people there. We have videos that are going out every single week whenever there's an event. Please do look out for the loyalty program. There are so many amazing prizes that Ross mentioned. Those are iPads, those are internships, as well as cash prizes. And I feel that's how we are going to keep the engagement this year as well.
Please follow our socials. Follow us on LinkedIn and follow us on Instagram at InvestSoc UCT. And a little birdie told me that our website is being developed. So I will give you the 411 on when that happens. But definitely keep out on the lookout for all the marketing material, guys. We'd really love for you to engage with us. Pop us some questions, send in some suggestions of like any companies you'd like to see us work with, or just anything that you'd want to see InvestSoc do this year. I think that it would be really amazing for you guys to kind of engage with us on those platforms. And okay, let me reset a little bit. Okay, so that was amazing. Thank you so much for telling us about the literacy program, about the new things in the marketing department, and as well as the investment program. I think that we have had an amazing episode so far. But just to wrap up, guys, it's a brand new year. Like, I'm a new project manager. So obviously there's like so many other new project managers as well for the 10 portfolios that we have. So I just wanted Ross to tell us about who's new and who's running what, so that when you guys see us on campus, you can kind of like shout us out.
Yeah, all right. So thank you, Rosejo. So yeah, we obviously got a fantastic team here at InvestSoc. And as Pranesh mentioned about the marketing team, it's not possible for him to do what he does without his awesome team that he's got. And the same is for InvestSoc as a whole. We have a really big team, from the executive down to portfolio managers and then into their subcommittees. And so it's a really large effort to make these events come to fruition. And so we go through a really extensive process to make sure that we get the best of the best talent to come in and join the society and take an active involvement in event creation. And so there are a lot of different portfolios in the society. So I'll just list everyone by name and who's running that. I don't have surnames on me right now, and surnames aren't the strong point. So we got Cleopatra. She is running the Investor Series portfolio. I'm super happy for her to take over my portfolio from last year, and I'm really, really excited to see all the cool work she does. We got Shazmika. She's doing professional development this year. So everything from CV workshops with the career services and a lot more will be coming from her. Elita is going to be the head of the portfolio manager for the social impact project. And they've also got some exciting plans ahead when it comes to helping our communities and getting involved with different charities. So we look forward to the impact that she's going to have. And then we've got Lucas. Lucas is running our trading club this year. He's taking over Greg, one of his finance colleagues at UCT, and he's going to be running the trading club. He's going to have a fairly big team of portfolio managers as well as analysts this year. So we then have our O-Week and brand managers. We've got Aiden and Kwezi. They are alongside Pranesh, and they are doing the fantastic work that you guys get to see all the time on LinkedIn, Facebook. Not Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram. And so, yeah, they're doing a great job on that side. We then got the World of Work podcast. Obviously, we're sitting here with Maseko, and she's doing a great job. And we have the World of Work magazine, which is being run by Janae. Janae ran our Young Women's Professional portfolio last year, and she's now made a switch into a role taking over the magazine. And so, that's a really exciting part of the year where we get to, look at all the events that happen throughout the year. There's some really exciting articles that get published there too, that you as the students of InvestSoc can write for. So stick out for that. And when those opportunities come to write an awesome page in our magazine, be sure just to hit Sine up and she'll help you out and give you some pointers when it comes to the magazine. We've mentioned Ritik. He's taking the role of project manager of financial literacy. Angel is taking the role of Young Women's Professional, and I'm sure she'll take a few pages out the book of Janae from last year and put on some awesome events. We got Daniel. He is taking over Entrepreneurs Connect. And he's got really exciting ideas. I met with him today, and we had a good talk about the types of events he'll be doing this week. Not this week, but throughout the year. And then we've got Mimi. She is taking over Corporate Connections with a lot of time and effort being put into our gala dinner, which takes place at the end of the year. And she'll also be working on an alumni network. So we've got a fantastic team. We go through a really rigorous process to select everyone. And we know that they're going to do a fantastic job this year. And we couldn't be happier to working with them.
Okay. I mean, guys, I'm so grateful to be a part of the team. And I'm so happy to have recorded this episode. And I think it's really amazing because you guys really just got the scoop of what's new in InvestSoc, who's new to the family, and what to look out for. So if you guys loved this episode, then please keep coming back. Definitely check us out on our socials. And once again, shout out to my executives. Thank you so much, Aaron, Ross, and Pranesh, for gracing me with your presence on the very first episode of 2024, guys. I really hope that you hear my voice again, and I hope to see you guys engaging with us on social media. Okay, so that's me. I'll be back again. Keep on the lookout for the next episode. Bye, guys.